I think which only bolsters the people's argument.
Oh, I
An
disagree.
argument could be made both ways. What's the status of his in the mental health court? Is he a case still pending? Is he under sentence or what, Ms. Bajan?
I don't have an update. All I know, Your Honor, is what my client indicated is that he's in mental health court, and what the prosecution did mention that he does have the other ongoing cases. He is on probation.
What was the dollar amount you're seeking, Mr. Vincent?
$50,000 cash assured.
Well, I think by definition, calling in a false report of threat of bomb is by definition a danger and a threat to the community, whether it's false or not. And regardless calling in a bomb threat, whether they're taken seriously or not, people had to evacuate, police manpower, so on and so forth. So I do, for that very, very reason, by the nature of the offense, I do find him a danger to the community. So it'll be a $50,000 cash surety. Was able to post bond, GPS tether, house arrest. This is an unaffordable bond.
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask for a redetermination hearing.
Bond redetermination will be Monday, January 27th, 9 a.m. in front of Chief Judge McConaughey. Probable cause, January 31st, preliminary examination, February 7th, both in front of Judge Giles. Is there anything else either counsel wants to put on the record?
Not at this time. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. O'Leary.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, DDC, you can bring back Eric Hammond. All right, Mr. Hammond, state your name for the record.
Eric Hammond.
All right, Mr. Hammond, you have some traffic matters in which you failed to appear in court for. As a result of your failure to appear, warrants for your arrest were issued. The court's going to set aside these arrest warrants. You approach the bond in each of these misdemeanor matters that carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed on your behalf. You have 1 moment for your tickets. Okay. Okay, the tickets are U687460110, unlawfully in a public place during school hours. Ticket U8613201, enter without owner's permission. Ticket P10933390, lewd and lascivious cohabitation and gross lewdness. For each of these misdemeanor matters, so you're gonna pre-trial date February 28th in front of Judge Millhouse, and personal bond no dollar amount. Let's see. I see there's a capias for Mr. Hammond.
Yes, Your Honor.
From December 6, 2023, $100,
Yes.
10%.
Correct.
Ms. Bajan, why should I not continue that capias bond?
Your Honor, this is an unaffordable bond. I would ask for personal. I do understand that Mr. Hammond missed court, but he is aware he is supposed to come to court. He indicated that he got confused. He received multiple court dates. I don't know if he was confusing those with his traffic tickets or what was going on, but he got confused. He does suffer from serious mental health issues. This is a case from 2021. He understands that he's supposed to come to court. He's not making up any excuses for the court, but we do have updated information with respect to his whereabouts. So like I said, Your Honor, he understands he's supposed to show up. So we would ask for a personal bond, give Mr. Hammond another opportunity to show up. These are misdemeanors, Your Honor, so we would respectfully ask the court for a personal bond.
So you got confused with all his court dates and didn't show up to anything? That's what it looks like. He didn't show up for his tickets. He didn't show up for this matter. Because he got confused?
That's what my client indicates, Your Honor. However, he understands he's supposed to come to court. He didn't lie to the court right now. He's not making something up. And he provided updated contact information. He's a lifelong resident of Michigan.
Okay, I'm going to give him a personal bond and I'll help him with his confusion. Mr. Ragnar, is there anything you want to add?
I was just
I
going to ask.
apologize.
No. Good morning, Your Honor. Samuel A. Ragland, P23-157 on behalf of the people. I was going to ask for personal bond, Your Honor, $25,000, but I also was going to ask for a tether because he's had several players.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a tether.
Okay, that's all. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Would
$1,000
Your Honor-
personal bond with it. Yes.
Would Your Honor consider allowing Mr. Hammond to turn himself in for the tether?
No, he doesn't turn himself because he doesn't have a history of coming into court. So no, he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt on this one.
Judge, and I'm sorry, Philip Reagan on behalf of Mr. Hammond, you saying a $10 bond with the tether?
No, I'm giving a $1,000 personal bond with a tether.
Okay, but the bond was $10, right? Well, it didn't have a tether on it before, but for the 2021 case, you're adding a tether with a $100 personal?
Yes, because of his failure to appear, and he's according to counsel, he's got too many court dates. He got mixed up, failed to appear for traffic matters, failed to appear for his misdemeanor matters.
But I don't know if he failed to appear for the traffic matter. He just their warrant status. I don't know what happened with the traffic matters. I don't want to use that. He got personal bonds on those. You give him a tether on the traffic matter too?
No, I'm not giving.
Right.
No,
so
Mr. Reagan.
I don't understand.
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna clarify for you, so he doesn't get confused anymore. So we can track him if he fails to miss any other court dates.
Well, Judge, I think
For
that
the misdemeanor, for the case before the Judge Bryant.
so he's got to wait 3 days for a $10 bond, Judge, for a 4-year-old misdemeanor. I do understand tethers, Judge, and I do understand that. And I get the court, Judge. I have much respect for this court. I do, Judge. But the tickets, I don't know what happened, why he missed on the ticket.
Is he employed?
No, Your Honor.
He's not,
Okay,
Judge.
so what difference does it make?
Because, Judge, sometimes the tethers take a long time. I don't want him to sit in jail and have to go to the Wayne County Jail for a 4-year-old.
He's gonna lose his job.
But, Judge, it's not about his job. It's about his freedom and liberty as well. We don't want anybody.
Okay, he'll get it. He'll get it after he gets his tether. Step aside, sir.
Thank you, Judge, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't catch the next court date.
February 5th, from the Judge Bryant. What's your name, sir? Repeat that, please. Philip Walker, Mr. Walker.
Yes.
All right, this is case number 8706810701. People State of Michigan versus Philip Walker. This case goes back to the 20th century. Appearances, please.
Steve Vincent for the people.
And Lorena Bejan on behalf of Mr. Walker, who stands mute, understands his rights, and waives the formal reading.
Okay, the court will enter not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Walker. Bond recommendation from the people?
The people have none. Jen,
Okay,
we got none.
$100 personal bond, Mr. Walker. Court date, February 5th, in front of Judge. Wait a minute, is this a capias? Hold on, let's see. Let me look here. Oh, wow. He capias in 08. Okay, but I'm gonna give him a $100 personal bond. February 5th in front of Judge Bryant, sir. Is your pretrial
Thank you.
date. All right, step aside, please.
I guess based on all the interactions, then the case will be completed by like 2040. So it should be all good.
But yeah, given this, you never know. I'll be retired by then. Hopefully retired. What's your name?
Jeffrey Campbell.
Jeffrey Campbell. All right, this is case number 240-6102-802. People said Michigan versus Jeffrey Campbell. Appearances, please.
For the people.
And Lorena Bejan on behalf of Mr. Campbell, who stands mute, understands his rights, and waives the formal reading.
All right, court order not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Campbell. Bond recommendation from the people.
Magistrate, we're not going to be objecting to a personal. It's non-assaultive. As you can see, Mr. Campbell is defendant 2. Defendant 1 hasn't been arraigned either through the present. We would just be asking for a no contact with that car wash through the pendency of the case.
No objection to personal bond. Thank you.
$10,000 personal bond, Mr. Campbell.
Thank you.
While this case is pending, you cannot go back to Mel's Car Wash. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
Probable cause February 3rd, preliminary examination February 10th, both in front of Judge Taylor. Step aside, please.
Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Bradley Blackwell, Your Honor.
Blackwell?
Yes, sir.
Brandon?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Blackwell, you have some traffic matters which you failed to appear in court for. As a result of your failure to appear, warrants for your arrest were issued. The court's going to set aside the arrest warrant, give him a personal bond, and he sees misdemeanor matters that carries a maximum penalty of 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be against you. You have a right to an attorney. You can afford an attorney. One will be appointed on your behalf. Mr. Blackwell, you have the following tickets: P1268406, no insurance, misdemeanor, driver license suspended. Ticket P1359951, no insurance, misdemeanor, smoking marijuana within the passenger area of a vehicle on a public way. And ticket P1382533, open alcohol in a motor vehicle. At least these misdemeanor matters, so you're gonna post a bond or dollar amount pre-trial February 28th in front of Judge Tanisha Yancey. Now to your main matters, case number 240-458-1501, People said Michigan versus Brandon Blackwell. Appearances, please.
Steve Benson for the people.
And Lorena Bejan on behalf of Mr. Blackwell, who stands mute, understands his rights, and waives the formal reading.
All right, court will not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Blackwell. Bond recommendation from the people.
Magistrate, kind of an older incident. I haven't found anything since the date of offense, which was August 5th, 2022. Not going to be objecting to a personal. seeing as though it's charged as that DV. But just for precautionary sake, we would just be asking for a no contact with Ms. Childs through the pendency of the case.
Okay.
Yeah,
Joe?
I have no objections to personal bond, but I would ask for no assaultive contact. My client indicated that he's on good terms with the complainant, no other police contact or charges or allegations since. So I would ask for that no assaultive contact if the court would consider it. This is a case from 2022, and like I said, my client did indicate that he's on good terms with the complainant.
Not taking anything away from defense counsel's argument, but if she got from that information from the defendant, I don't know how far that goes, because we have allegations that he ended up swelling the face up of the complainant. So.
And respectfully, but the investigator's report does state that the complainant did not seek any medical attention. So I do want to point that out to the court.
Okay, that's neither here nor there. No contact while this case is pending. And can I go back to the Longacre address? Also, you cannot possess any handguns, firearms, or other dangerous weapons while this case is pending. And no contact means just that, sir. No phone calls, text messages, emails, handwritten letters, or notes of the third party. Like I said, given the age of the case, and just for your protection as well while this case is pending, I want a no contact provision. Pre-trial, February 3rd, in front of Judge Garrett. Step aside, sir. Have a good day.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't catch the bond amount.
The bond amount was $5,000 personal bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's your name, sir?
Justin Kenyatta Wesley Jr.
All right, this is case number 250-440-3501. People said Michigan versus Justin Kenyatta Wesley Jr. Appearances, please.
Samuel A. Ragland for the people, Your Honor.
And Lorena Bejan on behalf of Mr. Wesley, who stands and understands his rights and waives the formal reading.
Court order not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Wesley. Bond recommendation, Mr. Ragland?
Well, Your Honor, the people are asking for a $10,000 cash security bond. If he's able to post a bond, we're asking for a tether with house arrest. In this situation, he went over to a residence and asked for his deceased father's clothes. The person, his mother, was in the car and along with the victim. The victim gets out of the car because the defendant kicked the car. The victim tried to calm him down with that, and the victim started being aggressive. It resulted in the complaining witness said he did not want to fight. But with that, the defendant did fight him. They went to the ground. He beat him multiple times in the face and in the head with a closed fist. He kicked him in the head. He became unconscious and had a seizure, had to go to the hospital. But the situation is that on 11725, he pled guilty to carrying a concealed weapon, and sentencing is set for that on 22625, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, he also has he's on probation. Well, he finished probation for controlled substance possession of cocaine less than 25 grams on 6/7/22. He got 2 years probation for that. He also, as I said,
Mr. Ragnar, you can stop with the criminal history, and I thank you for a well-noted recitation of the facts.
a little too much, huh? It was a little too much.
Senior say not enough.
I was taking some of Mr. Reagan's time.
No, Mr. Reagan has enough time as it is. All right, response from the.
Yes, Your Honor. So I would ask for a personal bond. I understand the allegations that are being made, but there's two sides of every story. My client indicates that he was stabbed by the complainant in the back, so he's receiving medical attention for that. I would mark this file medical in the event my client does not get out on a personal bond. But there seems to have been some argument. I don't know if it's a case of self-defense or what happened. Nobody was there, but there's two sides of every story, Your Honor. So I want to point out to the court that my client is a lifelong resident of Michigan. He has one child. With respect to his priors, these are
John?
non-assaultive.
Mr. John,
Yes.
I have a question for you, a couple questions for you. Was he a resident of this Willis Street address?
I understand that he does not reside at that address. He has another address that he provided us.
No, but I'm saying at the time of it. Hold on, everybody. My question was, at the time of this incident, was he living there?
Mr. Wesley, at the time of this incident back on December the 21st of 2024, were you residing on Willis in Detroit?
My ID has said 3309 Willis my whole life. Willis is deteriorating. The house is deteriorating. No one's
Okay,
living
sir, for your own good, I just asked one question and you gave me 3 or 4 different answers.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. No, I'll stay with my grandma.
Okay, that's all I asked, sir.
I'm sorry.
Just to protect you, okay? Help me help you.
I was confused because my ID's always said Willis. That's what.
Okay, I got it.
I'm sorry.
And Ms. Bajan, if you know, is the complaining witness related to Mr. Wesley?
That's his brother, Your Honor, from my understanding.
Okay. And is Mr. Wesley employed?
He has varied hours and he works at a salon.
You said what type of hours you said?
His work hours vary.
Oh,
His working-
varied.
Yes, varied work hours.
I thought I heard married to his work hours.
Some people are.
Yeah, I know. Okay, Mr. Wesley, I'm gonna give you a personal bond. $5,000 personal bond. No contact with your brother, Mr. Gibson. You cannot go back to the Willis Street address. You cannot possess any handguns, firearms, other dangerous weapons. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, sir. Can I ask you a question?
Are you sure?
Mr. Wesley, just know that anything you say right now can be used against you. This is live. Prosecution's present. The judge is here, so anything you say can be used against you. I would advise you to stand mute, but if there's anything you want to add, it is definitely your right to do so. Just to let you know and to reiterate, anything you say could be used against you, so I would advise you to stand mute.
I understand you.
Good decision. Pre-trial, February 3rd in front of Judge Jones. Step aside.
Yeah, and it could,
Yes, Mr. Ragnar. What's your name?
Carlo Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, you have a traffic matter, which you failed to appear in court for. As a result of your failure to appear, warrants for your arrest were issued. The court's going to set aside these arrest warrants for your personal bond and these misdemeanor matters that carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and/or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. You can't afford an attorney. One will be appointed on your behalf. The ticket is P1049296. Entering a vacant dwelling without owner's permission. Pre-trial for that will be February 28th in front of the Judge Larry Williams. Now to your main matter. It's case number 200445791. Houston, Michigan versus DeCarlo Jackson. I note for the record that this is a capias from July 27, 2021, set by Judge Bryant, $500, 10%. Ms. Bajan or Mr. Reagan, why should I not continue that capias bond set by Judge Bryant?
And Lorena Bijan on behalf of Mr. Jackson, who stands mute. understands his rights and waives the formal reading. Your Honor, my client did not make up an excuse for the court, but he did indicate that he was trying to call the court. He didn't get an answer. He didn't get a new court date. He was working 7 days.
Wait a minute, he didn't get an answer? What, he called on the weekend or something?
That's what he indicated, Your Honor, and he also indicated that he was working 7 days a week, trying to provide for his family. He does have one child, lifelong resident of Michigan. I know this is an old case, Your Honor, but he wants to get it resolved. He wants another chance. He understands he's supposed to come to court. We would ask for another chance for a personal bond. This would be unaffordable. He was recently laid off from his company, so he's been going through a hard time, but he's trying to get this resolved. We have updated contact information, so we would ask the court for an opportunity for my client to show up. And Your Honor, this is a misdemeanor, so we would respectfully ask for a personal bond.
Mrs. Cole, response?
Your Honor, this is 4 years ago, almost. And so this is a misdemeanor, a serious misdemeanor that it is that, so I'm asking for that bond to remain in place, Your Honor. And that way, if he's not working, there's plenty of time to show up and now he knows where to come. But I think those excuses get a little bit lame. This is serious. He is, at the time he was 21 years old. So I'm asking that bond to continue.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, you may.
He has been arrested on the 22nd of this year. It's punishment enough. He's been in jail now over 48 hours. He has updated contact information. So given the time that he's been in jail, taking that into consideration, we would respectfully ask the court to consider that personal bond.
He said 4 years?
This occurred back in March of 20. His bond was set originally in February of 21, but this occurred back in March of 20.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to keep this bond. I'm going to continue to keep this bond.
May I just briefly?
Yes, you may just briefly.
Thank you. I just want to point out to the court that back in 2020, and I can't see the ROA right now for this particular case, but back in 2020, there was a lot of movement with cases, dates, confusion. So I would like to point that out to the court, if the court would take that under consideration.
I understand that was in the middle of the pandemic and there was a lot of confusion going on. I get that. But okay, and I'll give him for the sake of argument, Mr. John, I'll give him 2020. I'll give him 2021. But what about 2022, 2023, 2024?
Well, Your Honor, when there's so much confusion with the court, he kept calling, didn't get an answer. I'm not sure what happened. I wasn't there. I wasn't the one calling.
He called for 3 years? He kept calling for 3 or 4 years?
I'm not sure what happened. That's what, my client just indicates that he kept calling the court and didn't get an answer.
Well, I'm going to continue to keep his bond. Bond redetermination, Monday, February 27th, 9 a.m. in front of Chief Judge McConaughey. Pretrial February 4th in front of Judge Bryant. Step aside. All right, are we ready for Victor Evans?
Magistrate, I'm going to leave it up to your discretion, but Mr. Ragnon's in the holding room or whatever, so I'll leave it up to you whether or not you want to let him in.
How much was the KP's bond for the last gentleman that left out?
I'm sorry, the KP's bond was $500, 10%. Okay, what's your name, sir?
Michael Howe.
Yeah, all right, Mr. Howell, this is case number 240-612-6501. People said the Michigan versus Michael Howell. Appearances, please.
Good morning, Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
Lorena Bijan on behalf of Mr. Howell, who stands, read, understands his rights and waives the formal reading.
All right, court and not enter a not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Howell. By recommendation.
Your Honor, in this matter, this occurred back in June of 23. It was not signed by the prosecutor's office till December 24th of 24. I see that the APA spoke to the complainant in this matter. He's still interested in pursuing, but there is nothing. And the date of that conversation, it looked like happened on December 24th. And there was no notes regarding that any issues occurred since then. I also note that Mr. Howell has no criminal history that I'm aware of. So the people are requesting and have no objection to a $30,000 personal bond and no contact with the complainant, Mr. Swain, as well as no weapons. Thank you.
No objection to personal bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right, $30,000 personal bond, Mr. Howell. While this case is pending, you're not possessing handguns, firearms, other dangerous weapons. No contact with Mark McSwain. Probable cause February 3rd, preliminary examination February 10th, both in front of Judge Taylor. Step aside, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, are we ready on Mr. Evans? I guess we're not. Mr. Ragnar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you handling Mr. Evans?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. I'm working from a hotspot internet today because the internet's been out and it sometimes
Okay.
it goes off. So I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't blame me. I didn't put you in timeout.
Oh, I will never go to timeout again. I'm just like you don't ever have to worry about that. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
Never
Mr.
say
Evans.
never.
No, you're
All
right.
right, Mr. Evans, step up. Mr. Evans is a walk-in in court.
Correct.
All right, good morning, Mr. Evans. State your name for the record, please.
Victor Evans.
Okay, Mr. Evans, you have some traffic matters in which you failed to appear in court for. As a result of your failure to appear, warrants for your arrest were issued. The court's going to set aside these arrest warrants. Your personal bond in each of these misdemeanor matters that carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be against you. You have the right to an attorney. You can't afford an attorney. One will be put on your behalf. The ticket is P1294247. No insurance misdemeanor. Improper place. Driver's license never required. Pretrial will be February 27th in front of Judge Roberta Archer. Now to your main matter. This is case number 240-583-1901. People State of Michigan versus Victor Evans. Appearances, please.
And Samuel A. Ragland for the people, Your Honor.
Lorena Bejan on behalf of Mr. Evans, who stands mute, understands his rights, and waives the formal reading.
Court ordered a not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Evans. Bond recommendation, Mr. Ragnar?
People are asking for a $15,000 personal bond. It is a 2021 case, Your Honor.
Okay.
No objection to personal bond. Thank you.
$15,000 personal bond, sir. While this case is pending, no drugs and no weapons. Probable cause January 30th, preliminary examination February 6th in front of Judge Jefferson. Have a seat in the courtroom, wait for your paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, are we through with the men? I think we are. Okay, can we start out with Kara Robinson, please?
Say your full name. Yes, this is Kara Robinson, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. This is case number 250-554-0201. Who said Michigan versus Kara Suzanne Robinson? Appearances, please.
Samuel A. Ragland to the people, Your Honor.
Your Honor, good morning. Elias Buwad appearing on behalf of Ms. Robinson.
Okay, Mr. Mawad, your P number, please.
41632, Judge. I'm old.
41632.
Yeah.
That is all, Mr. Ragland.
23-157.
Sorry, Sam.
Thanks for bringing that up again. I get reminded of it every day. It's okay.
Okay. All right, appearances, please. Did you get your appearance, Mr. Ragland?
Yes, I did. Samuel A. Ragland.
Okay. Okay, counsel, you waive formal reading, stand mute?
Correct, Judge. Waive formal reading, stand mute.
Okay, the court will not guilty plea on behalf of your client, Ms. Robinson. Bond recommendation from the people.
Well, the people are asking for a $25,000 10% cash bond. We're also asking for a tether with a curfew. We're also asking for no driving at all, whether she has a license or not. This situation is very sad. The defendant, you're familiar with the facts on it, Your Honor? Is that what you want to tell me?
Yes, I think I am, Mr. Ragland, but go ahead.
Well, I don't need to recite them all. Then you're very familiar. Apparently, the defendant admitted she was driving the vehicle, that she did swerve. Video shows that she did swerve in the wrong lane. She hit a man that was trying to cross the street. And he
You're going to recite the facts anyway, aren't you?
Just a sentence is all I wanted to give you. I got to do something.
Oh, a sentence. A highlights. The highlights. Okay. I give you that. We all need highlights. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, response.
Judge, real quick, as soon as the family contacted me within 24 hours of the incident, I called a detective in the homicide department to find out who I can talk to in the other unit so I can bring her in. That detective told me to get her in Monday morning by 9 o'clock. We were there at 8:15. We turned her in. I also got a call from the detective in charge about an hour ago. They want the key to her car. We're going to turn that over. We're going to cooperate. She's got a wonderful family. I understand the incident here. We're going to get to the bottom of it, but anything significant or and she did. She did
anything else?
She cooperated, and we met with the police officers too, Judge.
Anything else, Mr. Ragnar?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to give her a $20,000 personal bond. Only condition of bond is no driving while the case is pending. It's represented by counsel, so I'm fairly certain he will have her appear at the court dates. I don't believe she's a flight risk, and I believe no driving requirement will handle any prospective danger she may be to the community.
Your Honor, can you ask for no drinking as well?
Was drinking alleged in here?
It was alleged. There was alcohol found in a cup in the car, Your Honor, with a straw in it that had alcohol in it, plastic cup.
Okay.
So,
all right, just to cover all bases, no alcohol as well.
Thank you.
In addition to that. Probable cause January 31st, preliminary examination February 7th, both in front of Judge Taylor. Is there anything else either counsel wants to put on the record?
Nothing further.
Nothing. And Sam, I'm sorry, I'll never bring that up again.
It's too late now, but that's not a problem. Nice meeting you.
See you later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This way,
Oh, but hey, Judge, I'm so sorry. Did you say tether or no tether? I'm sorry.
No tether.
No tether. Okay, thank you.
No, just no driving.
I got you. Fair enough. I appreciate
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, could I ask you for that bond again on Justin Wesley? I'm sorry about that.
Sorry, Mr. Ragland. I didn't hear you, Mr. Ragnar.
Oh, I was asking if you could give me the bond again on Justin Wesley. I'm sorry.
$5,000 personal bond.
Thank you.
All right, who's next up at the DDC?
Jacqueline T. Jasper.
Jacqueline T. Jasper. The T is for terrific, right?
Yes.
All right, it's case number 250-554-0101. Houston, Michigan versus Jacqueline Jasper. Appearances, please.
Samuel A. Ragland for the people, Your Honor.
And Learned Bench John on behalf of Ms. Jasper, who stands and understands her rights and waives the formal reading.
All right, the court will enter a not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Jasper. Bond recommendation for the people.
The people are asking for $15,000 personal bond.
No objection to a personal bond. Thank you.
$15,000 personal bond, Ms. Jasper. You know, no more brass knuckles, no more handguns, firearms, other dangerous weapons. Probable cause January 30th, criminal examination February 5th. Both for the Judge Jefferson. Step aside, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Janelle Mosby.
Ms. Mosby,
Yes. Your Honor.
you have some traffic matters which you failed to appear in court for. As a result of your failure to appear, warrants for your arrest were issued. The court's going to set aside these arrest warrants with a personal bond in each of these misdemeanor matters that carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. You can afford an attorney. One will be appointed on your behalf. All right, the ticket is P1543418. No insurance misdemeanor, driver license suspended. Ticket P1559573, open alcohol in a motor vehicle passenger. Ticket P856439, no insurance misdemeanor, driver license not valid. In each of these misdemeanor matters, ma'am, you're gonna personal bond on dollar amount. Pre-trial, February 27th for the Judge Michael Wagner. Now to your main matter.
Okay.
This is case number 250-554-0801. People say Michigan versus Janelle Mosby. Appearances, please.
Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
And Larry Nebejan on behalf of Ms. Mosby, who understands her rights, waives the formal reading, and stands mute.
All right, the court will enter a not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Mosby. I read this. I'm very, very familiar with the facts of this case. This is a mother-son, and I will reserve any personal comments for later. But what's the bond recommendation from the people?
Your Honor, this one is one that I do go back and forth in and giving as far as a recommendation based on the fact that he is a 17-year-old and admits that he was being disrespectful to his mother, but she is the adult in the room, and to take a metal stick, a broomstick to him, as well as punching him. And she did admit to hitting him, and the broomstick was found. And there was a young woman who was the girlfriend of the complainant there who witnessed all this. I have my concerns, although I don't see anything but a 2004 possession of cocaine for Ms. Mosby that was taken under HIDTA status. I don't see a record for her. I think the best thing in this matter, Your Honor, is no contact with her son, obviously. And I don't know how that works because it appears that they live together. So,
well, I want to add this, Mrs. Coyle. When I did the probable cause hearing to this case this morning, the officer indicated that the complainant witness is now living with his aunt.
Okay, that does make a difference to me because this is fresh. This happened on the 21st. It is way over the top for parental discipline. It's not even in the same realm. So, Your Honor, I think the people would be, if they're not living together and she is not to have any contact with him whatsoever, I would be not objecting to a 50,000 personal. Otherwise, I was going to ask for a cash bond in this matter, 10%.
Okay,
Your Honor, no objection to personal bond.
okay. All right, in light of the fact of the representation from the officer this morning indicating that the complaining witness does no longer lives at the State Fair address, $50,000 personal bond. She can go back to the State Fair address. There's no contact with Mr. Jawan Mosby and not possess any handguns, firearms, other dangerous weapons in this matter.
And Judge Philip, on behalf of Mr. Jasper, he's not there at the present time, Judge. But if he decides to come back, I would just ask for no assaultive contact. Wasn't a metal broom, Judge. It was a plastic type of. I guess.
Okay, Mr. Reagan, I'm not going to go over the details of it.
Okay.
You're just saying if he happens, my understanding that he was with the aunt for the time being, so he shouldn't have any reason to come back to the house.
Yeah, but he seems kind of a little disrespectful in his words and a lot of things he does. I just don't know, Judge. I don't want her to have to be displaced if he decides he wants to roll up to the house. Because it was alleged he had a gun in his pocket. If he wants to roll up to the house, I don't want her to have to feel like she has to leave her house because of some ridiculous report, some ridiculous case that was filed by the prosecutor's office.
If she comes back, call the police.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm the one who called him in the first place, but I have no problem with doing that.
I'm just asking for no contact.
Right, there's no contact.
Thank you.
There's no contact provision here, and I don't think that's going to be a problem on your part, Ms. Mosby.
No, it will not be.
All right. Probable cause January 30th, preliminary examination February 6th, both in front of Judge Jefferson. Step aside, ma'am.
This one, madam.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm secretary chair to the full
Deja Wembley.
What's your name?
Deja Wembley.
All right, this is case number 240-459-3801. People say Miskin versus Deja Wembley. Appearances, please.
The Coyle hearing on behalf of the people.
And Lorena Bijan on behalf of Ms. Wembley, who stands me and understands her rights, and she waives the formal reading.
Court word on not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Wembley. Bond recommendation from the people.
Your Honor, this occurred back on July 27th of 23. It was not signed till over a year later. The data master proved a 9 and a 10. There is no capious history on this matter, Your Honor. The people have no objection to a $25,000 personal bond with the condition of no alcohol as well, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, there's no alcohol and what?
I'm sorry.
I didn't catch the last part.
Your
No alcohol
Honor.
and what?
I said, Your Honor, that was what I said. But
Oh, I thought you said something else. Oh,
Yeah, I was going to say, and also the condition of no driving without a valid license, but that,
okay.
okay, thank you,
All right.
sorry.
Mr. John, no problem. No, it's the microphones in here.
Yes, and thank you, Your Honor, and no objections to personal bond. I appreciate it.
Okay, $25,000 personal bond. Ms. Wembley, while the case is pending, no alcohol, no driving unless you have a valid driver's license.
I
Pre-trial, February 4th in front of Judge Bryant. Step aside, ma'am.
This one.
Jessica Holtz.
Jessica Holtz. All right, Ms. Hope, you have some traffic matters in which you failed to appear in court for. As a result of your failure to appear, warrants for your arrest were issued. The court's going to set aside these arrest warrants for your personal bond. And these misdemeanor matters that carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed on your behalf. The tickets are P1137607. Driver's license expired, no insurance, misdemeanor. Ticket P1230953. Driver's license suspended. Ticket P1614980. Improper place, driving a registered motor vehicle, driver's license suspended, repeat offender. In each of these misdemeanor matters, traffic matters, ma'am, you're given a personal bond of dollar amount. Pre-trial, February 28th, for the Judge Millhouse for these traffic matters. Now to your main matters, case number 250-553-9601. Pierce City, Michigan versus Jessica Hoax. Appearances, please.
Mr. Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
And Larry Nabijan on behalf of Ms. Hoax, who stands mute, understands her rights, and she waives her formal readings.
Court will not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Hoax. Final recommendation from the people.
No objection to a personal, Your Honor. This was a traffic stop.
No
Bijan,
objection to personal, no objection to personal bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
$5,000 personal bond. You can't possess any handgun, firearms, other dangerous weapons such as tasers. Probable cause January 30th, preliminary examination February 6th, both in front of Judge Jefferson. Step aside, please.
Come on, and Chair Carter said, hold on.
What's your name?
Claudia Adele Johnson.
You said Claudia Johnson?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Johnson, you have some traffic matters in which you failed to appear in court for. As a result of your failure to appear, warrants for arrest were issued. The court's going to set aside these arrest warrants for your personal bond in this misdemeanor matter. It carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed on your behalf. The ticket is P1352553, possession of drug paraphernalia prohibited. The pretrial will be February 28th in front of Judge Larry Williams on this matter. All right, now to your main matter. I know this is a capious matter. Case number 220-581-8401, people say missing versus Claudia Johnson. Before counsels put their appearances on the record, my clerk did contact Judge Giles, who's the successor judge to Judge Archer in this capious matter for a preliminary examination. And he's going to continue. He's not going to change the bond. The bond will be continued and set for bond redetermination. Now go ahead and put your appearances, please.
Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
And Larry Nabijan on behalf of Ms. Johnson, who understands her rights, waives the formal reading and stand mute.
Okay, the court will continue a not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Johnson. As indicated before, the $1,000 cash surety bond will continue. Bond redetermination will be Monday, January 27th, 9 a.m. in front of Chief Judge McConaughey. Probable call January 31st, preliminary examination February 7th, both in front of Judge Giles. Step aside, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Magistrate Burton. I didn't hear that bottom. Can you repeat it for me, please?
$1,000 cash surety.
Copy that, Your Honor. Your Honor, I had to keep the ladies separate. Give me a minute. I'll be right there with the other ladies.
Okay.
Apparently.
Have some tan chairs to the full back.
Hi. I think it's Rose.
All right, yes, ma'am. What is your name?
Jenny Norfleet. Norfleet.
Norfleet?
Yes.
All right, this is case number 22044-51101. Houston Michigan versus Janiqua Norfleet. Appearances, please.
Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
And Lorena Bijan on behalf of Ms. Norfleet, who understands her rights, stands muted and waives the formal reading.
Court will continue not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Norfleet. Ms. Bijan, why should I continue the $1,000 10% CABIS bond set by Judge Bryant September 24th of last year?
Yes, sir. We would ask for personal bond. My client indicated that she did call the 36th district. She received information that she only had a traffic case ongoing, so she didn't she didn't know that she still had an ongoing case. That was her understanding, Your Honor, but she knows that she wants to get this matter resolved, wants to show up. Your Honor, we would ask for another opportunity. We do have updated contact information for Ms. Norfleet. She's a lifelong resident of Michigan. She did not make up any excuses, and she knows she's supposed to come to court. So for the reasons listed, Your Honor, I would ask for personal bond and give Ms. Norfleet an opportunity to show up. This is a misdemeanor.
Mrs. Coyle, response?
Your Honor, she was given a $5,000 personal bond in July of 24. She didn't show up by September of 24. And then a failure to appear. She had 2 failures to appear before the KPS was issued, Your Honor. This is with her allegedly assaulting a CPS worker, doing a well check. So I don't see how she thinks that the matter went away within less than 2 months if she never came back to court after her arraignment. So, Your Honor, I'm asking for that 1,010% bond to remain in place.
And Your Honor, if I may just respond.
Sure.
Your Honor, I'm not aware of any incidences with the complaining since. It is an old case. I'm not aware of any pending cases. She's not on probation, not on parole, no priors. So given that this is an old case, there hasn't been any contacts and that Ms. Norfleet understands that she's supposed to come to court, I would ask the court to take that under consideration.
Is she working?
She is, she's in the entertainment industry, Your Honor. As a comedian.
Humor. She's what?
She's a comedian. She works in the entertainment industry.
Riddle me this. All right. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and give you a personal bond. And let me just say this on a personal note, Ms. Norfleet, I think being a comedian is probably one of the toughest professions you can make a living at. Because people pay good money to say, make me laugh. And that is very, very difficult. So I applaud you. Now, Ms. Norfleet, now, I don't want to have the last laugh if you don't show up for court. The job will be on you then.
I did call, and
okay, man, I just want you to listen. I just want you to listen. Your next court date will be February 5th. If you don't show up, a judge will have the last laugh on you. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
What's your next court date?
February 5th.
In front of Judge Bryant.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, step aside, ma'am. $1,000 personal bond.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name?
Brenda Dimmings.
Repeat that.
Brianna Dimmings.
I could not hear the name, Your Honor.
Brianna Dimmings. Yeah, I have a Mr. Ragnon. We both have the same hearing problem. All right, this is case number 240-448-1201. Tuesday, Miskins versus Brianna Dimmings. Appearances, please.
Steve Benson for the people.
Larry Vision on behalf of Ms. Dimmings, who stands mute, understands her rights, and waives the formal reading.
All right, court will enter not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Dimmings. Bond recommendation from the people.
Magistrate, we're not going to be objecting to a personal. It's charged as an A and B. I mean, some of the allegations are alarming, but the incident occurred in May of last year. We'd just be asking for a no contact with that D-Town liquor through the pendency of this case.
No objections to personal bond. Thank you.
$10,000 personal bond. No contact with Monter Nisu. No contact with the Puritan address where this incident allegedly occurred. Pre-trial February 4th in front of Judge Bryant. Step aside, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. John, that's the very, very first comedian I've had up in here.
Was it?
I'm used to having plumbers and barbers and
Right.
that's a new one.
It was.
All right, what's your name, man?
Mindy Moore.
All right. Ms. Moore, you have some traffic matters what you failed to appear in court for. As a result of your failure to appear, warrants for your arrest were issued. The court's going to set aside these arrest warrants for your personal bond In each of these misdemeanor matters, if there's a maximum penalty of up to 93 days of jail and or a $500 fine. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed on your behalf. The tickets are P1194438, possession of drug paraphernalia. Ticket P119459, entering vacant dwelling without owner's permission. Ticket P1359516, enter vacant dwelling without owner's written permission. Ticket P15225573, loitering in a place. Loitering. Ticket U66145023, loitering in a place. And ticket U69140124, narcotic and drug related violations. You're given a personal bond or dollar amount in each of these misdemeanor matters. Pre-trial, February 27th, in front of Judge Wagner. Now calling your main matter, case number 210-5773-701. Pearson Michigan versus Mindy Moore. Appearances, please.
I guess I'll take this one. D. Vincent for the people, P71917.
Samuel,
Ms. Bajan, I couldn't hear you.
I apologize, Your Honor. Lorena Bejan on behalf of Ms. Moore, who stands mute, understands her rights, and waives the formal reading.
All right, court will continue not guilty plea. This matter is a habeas bond set by Judge Jefferson at exam. Judge Jefferson is not willing to change the bond at this point in time. The bond will continue. The bond will continue. $10,000 cash, 10%. While this case is pending, ma'am, you're not to possess any nor use any illegal drugs. Bond redetermination Monday, January 27th, 9 a.m. in front of Chief Judge McConaughey. Probable cause January 30th. Preliminary examination February 6th, both in front of Judge Jefferson. Step aside, ma'am.
Thank you.
Wait, so what does that mean?
thank you, Your Honor.
Bond redetermination. What does that mean?
You gotta go to the county.
All right, last case of the day. Let's make it count, people.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. What's your name?
Tamika Millender.
Hey, this case number 250-554-0301. Pearson Michigan versus Tamika Millender. Appearances, please.
Wagner for the people, Your Honor.
And Lorena Bejan on behalf of Ms. Millender, who stands mute, understands her rights, and waives the formal reading.
Court will not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Millender. Bond recommendation from the people.
Lost you, Your Honor. People are asking for $10,000.
Mr. Ragnar?
Yes.
I lost you. Can you repeat yourself?
$10,000, 10% cash bond. Tether House.
Okay, I heard that.
The victim, Your Honor, with a knife. Thank you. Can you hear that?
I heard what I needed to hear. You're good. Go ahead, Ms. Bajan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Respectfully, Your Honor, I would ask for a personal bond. There's two sides to every story, but what I do want to point out, investigators' report is that my client would also had some injuries. I'm not sure what happens. I'm not sure if there's some kind of who did what, who was defending themselves. But I do want to point out that the complaint did state that all he wanted was his car keys back. I don't see anything about whether the complainant wishes to pursue charges. Reading that, it kind of seems like they don't. I also want to point out to the court that my client is a lifelong resident of Michigan. I'm not aware that they're on probation or parole, no other pending cases. Not aware of any prior criminal history. 37 years old. She is employed, Your Honor. So for the reasons stated, I would respectfully request a personal bond.
Okay, one of the factors I look at when particular assaultive cases is where the incident occurred. And it looks like this occurred in Ms. Millender's home. And that weighs a great deal in my mind in assessing bond in this matter, because it doesn't appear that Ms. Millender was seeking out trouble or tried to reach out and make contact with the complaining witness. Argument is that the complaining witness came to her house and then things escalated from there. An argument could be made that but for the complaining witness coming to her house, the situation never would have occurred. So I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Doesn't appear that she has any criminal history. $5,000 personal bond. Just no contact with the complaining witness. And I don't think that's going to be a problem because she was minding her business, arguably, in her house while this incident occurred. And who knows? You know, when the facts come out, it may. I'm sorry?
I didn't.
$5,000 personal bond.
Freezing up.
Okay. And while this case is pending, ma'am, you can't possess any handguns, firearms, knives, or other dangerous weapons. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Probable cause, January 30th, preliminary examination, February 6th, both in front of Judge Jack Hay. Do you have any questions, ma'am, regarding your bond conditions on court date?
No.
Okay, step aside.
Okay. And thank y'all for your time this morning.
You're very well welcome. All right, I'll see everybody at 2:30.
Hey, how much is the bond?
Hey, Judge,
Mr. Ragnar.
Judge, I was standing corrected about Ms. Holmes. I thought you said you had never been on here with a comedian before. I think Mr. Ragnar might count as a comedian.
Your Honor.
Amateur at best. You got to get paid.
No, but he's great at what he does, though, Your Honor.
I'm
a fan. I'm a fan of Mr. Ragnar.
All right. Well, I have you. I'll get you front row tickets so you can